Matthew Seedorf, he's back with us now. Matthew, you've decided to add your mask. Is that because there's a lot of smoke and tear gas being thrown about?
Yeah, we're right in front of City Hall still. The protesters kind of push back towards City Hall. So there's the skirmish line with LASD here trying to hold them where they're at on 1st Street. We're trying to stay out of their way here. And they are, you can see the fire at the end of the street right now. They are firing those non-lethals, those flashbangs, and they warned us that there will be gas, as there's one right now. So there's going to be some tear gas here momentarily that they are firing across the street. Yeah, you can just see all the protesters over there, and on the other line of this law enforcement, and just flames, and it's pretty chaotic right now as they're trying to put an end to this right now.
Yeah, they've got that bonfire going there, Matthew, and they've successfully kept it lit for a while, but those flashbangs, that is no joke. And the flashbangs and the smoke can be quite helpful in trying to disperse a crowd. Wow.
Yeah, those flashbangs are really loud. The smoke is very successful, and we did see an alert from LAPD that essentially all the agitators at this point have split off into separate groups around downtown LA. It was warning people in the area to be careful of those agitators and possibly causing damage in the area. The Sheriff's Department was called in here to assist with the LAPD outside of City Hall, as there were protesters that were trying to barricade themselves on this street out front of City Hall. As right now we're following this skirmish line. They're trying to push the protesters further back. You can see the fire is still going on as well.
Matthew, as we watch there, that skirmish line able to make some progress and move forward there, paint the picture where City Hall is. Is it behind you, in front of you? Where is City Hall in relation to this?
Yeah, so City Hall is right here. So we are right next to City Hall where this is happening. And then that's 1st Street where all this is taking place. So the protesters essentially got pushed back about an hour ago, and now they're coming back this direction. The Sheriff's Department is trying to hold the line and firing those non-lethals. Look at this. I mean, I don't know if you can hear that.
Yeah, we can hear it. Well, it makes sense.
Flash.
They would want to keep the crowd away from City Hall and hold that line and push them back, and hopefully people will disperse as the night goes on and they get tired and they, call it a day kind of thing. But it is quite a scene, so we can just listen in for a minute here as you show us the scene.
Wow. And by the way, flashbangs, they do have a tail, and you can see them fly through the air, but they don't explode into fireworks like what we just saw. It was almost as if an agitator had decided, oh, well, I'm going to answer your flashbang with this green firework. I don't know if you noticed that, Matthew.
We just had a flashbang go off very close to us. My left ear is ringing from it. They're making us push back a little bit. Right now, it's hard to distinguish what is fireworks and flashbangs because we're seeing a little bit of mixture of both. Very close to LAPD headquarters, though, just for reference, here outside of City Hall, where this is taking place. And there's also just an immense amount of traffic. I mean, people. You think about what time it is, 9:30 on a Sunday night. All the cars in the area, there's the massive scene taking place. Not normal at all.
I think there's a big looky-loo factor, and people want to get their Instagram video or their shot or to witness things and live it through things that are happening, experiencing things. But really, if you don't need to be in downtown LA, this is an area to avoid because these crowds can be on the move. Police can be on the move. But right now, it looks like this line, Matthew, is designed to hold the line and keep the crowds away from City Hall. And when you pan back to see City Hall right behind you there, it is quite a statement, quite a shot. And if I'm watching from another part of the country, whether I've been to Los Angeles or not, whether I know LA well or not, it is quite a visual to be watching this on TV.
Yeah, it feels like the whole world or the whole city is on fire, when in fact it's just this, a few blocks really, when you're talking about where these agitators are. They're not even anywhere close to LA Live or SoFi State, Crypto.com Stadium. They're farther north, away from that area.
Yeah, just I was thinking back because just a few hours ago we were inside City Hall. We had a press conference with LA Mayor Karen Bass, and while we were inside the press conference, you could hear those flashbangs going off while we're interviewing the mayor about the protest taking place outside. Pretty eerie feeling with that, and now just standing out here in front of City Hall and seeing what's taking place, it's pretty unbelievable.
Can you show us again the pan shot, or have your cameraman turn back to show us really how close you are to City Hall? And if you can reflect back on the words of the mayor and how she described what she was seeing with the protesters, and saying that there is no place for violence or unrest. Talk about that as we look at our beautiful building all lit up in colors, and then we have this contrast with the colors of a scene of chaos downtown.
Yeah, the mayor was saying that there's no place for violence. She was condemning the violence and says that it needs to stop. She was also blaming the Trump administration for what was taking place after they called in the National Guard. But yeah, just looking out what we see right now, again, the flames, you can see flags, as well as traffic, and it looks like there's a pretty significant crowd on the other side of the street there. And at this point, I mean, I don't know if you want to call this a standoff, but police or sheriff's department's here staring and looking at the protesters on the other side.
Yeah. We should point out that the reason why City Hall is all lit in different colors, I believe it's because of Pride Month, because Pride Month is June, and typically over the course of the year, the city will change the lighting for the beautiful City Hall. And so right now I think it's multicolored for Pride Month.
Well, and it was LA Pride this weekend.
Exactly.
So it was a weekend of celebration in the gay community with LA Pride happening with the parade and the concerts, and then you have this going on, and as well as BET Experience at all also this weekend downtown.
Right. Exactly. So always a lot of things going on downtown. What is not expected is to have this kind of activity from agitators. Notice we're not calling them protesters. Yes, there were a lot of people that wanted to protest the ICE raids that started in Paramount, and then we had all kinds of activity that moved up to Compton and then eventually into the downtown area. They're not that far away from the focus building the building that we were focused on a lot last night, which was the MDC, the Metropolitan Detention Center, also known as a federal building where a lot of the federal agents were housed, and where U.S. Attorney Bill Saley was saying that the reason why they started lobbing tear gas from the gates of the MDC was because that the agents felt threatened by the protesters that were outside of right next to on Alameda.
Matthew, as we see that white smoke, those are the canisters of what that is trying to push back the protesters?
Yeah, it looks like they're using some sort of pepper spray smoke that they're throwing that direction. And then you can see some other protesters, the agitators, firing back with those fireworks. It looks like they were possibly were trying to have some sort of takeover on the street there. But it looks like the deputies kept firing those little pepper pellets, pushing them out.
Yeah, those pepper balls are pretty potent as well. That was the accusation lobbed at the federal agents, the ICE agents in Paramount, was that long before at least the demonstrators felt it was necessary, they were starting to shoot pepper balls. So that was the Border Patrol agents to the demonstrators in Paramount yesterday. So now it's LASD using those pepper balls. Can you smell it, Matthew? I know you had an incident too close to tear gas. Are you affected at all by the pepper balls?
No, where we are, we must be down or upwind because we're not getting impacted here. They did warn us that that was about to happen. They told us to put on those masks, but I've taken mine off at this point because we're all right where we are right now.
Okay, good. That's good.
So as we see this greater picture here, it looks like the crowd has been pushed back. Is that what the visual is for you as well? Yeah,
looking here, we'll zoom in. looks like you can see the crowd walking the other direction.
Oh, sure.
There's still something on fire. Something's on fire in the middle of the street there. You can see some people on bikes and lots of cars going by. But it looks like the main crowd, what, dozens of people, maybe more than 100, going the opposite direction now, with the sheriff's department here holding the line outside of City Hall.